Hello everyone, this is Yalda from Eat, Burn, Sleep, the online low inflammation, gut health and sustained weight loss platform. If you follow me on my social media, you probably know that I love learning, discovering new things, meeting passionate individuals. So I have decided to launch this podcast where I interview amazing people. We're going to be talking about physical health, mental health, well-being, with people who are passionate about what they do and who strive for excellence. I hope you learn from it and you enjoy it. Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Eat, Burn, Sleep podcast. Today I'm going to talk about using your own judgment, common sense, and critical thinking to achieve optimal physical and mental health. This topic is really close to my heart, and over the past year, I have noticed an incredible trend over social media, TV, newspapers, where critical thinking has become an absolute plague. I think this is dangerous, and it is my job as someone who advocates physical and mental health to raise a flag here, to raise a red flag. I really hope you enjoy this podcast. I hope you come out of it feeling stronger, less fearful, more assured, and trusting yourself and your judgment better, but also more open to listening to opinions that differ from yours, more open to thinking outside of the box, and more open of taking care of your own health, physically and mentally. Let's get started. So, since the beginning of the pandemic, something quite incredible has happened in the public debate. There has been a very strong emergence of the cancel culture. I have watched it from the sidelines, absolutely stunned at what is happening right now. What is shocking me is this culture is affecting every single domain in society and in the public debate, whether it is politics, health, whatever topic you can imagine, people can put a spin on it and apply the cancel culture. I have watched some people getting cancelled and how they were, to me, it felt like it was like a public stoning. It felt like the Middle Ages. You put someone in the public place and you just stone them. They were stoned on social media for having an opinion or for saying something that could have been interpreted in a different manner than what they were intending to express. So many people, women, men, have fought for the freedom of speech because we have seen what a single way of thinking creates. The Second World War has been absolutely disastrous. Millions of people have died. Millions of Russians, Jews, Chinese, French, British, people from all over the world, innocent people died because of that one unique school of thought. I am absolutely horrified to see that nowadays in the public debate, you're only allowed to say one type of things. And you're only allowed to even think in one certain manner. It's very sad because it's affecting us mentally, physically, and is actually quite dangerous for our societies. When it comes to health, I have done an IGTV on Instagram about a year ago where I received so much hate because I said that I did not believe following a vegan diet was good for you, for your health. I gave a big disclaimer saying I'm not talking about ethical reasons here. I want to share my opinion from my research and my experience and the experience of people that I have helped on excluding all animal products. I received so much hate, even from some doctors. You would think that someone with a certain level of education has been taught to have critical thinking and the importance of freedom of speech. Yet I got that hate. Recently, I was making some fish and showing it on my Instagram story. Someone had watched Seaspiracy on Netflix and gave me a lot of hate for eating fish. Subsequently, I have posted some stories saying, you need to learn to think by yourself. Netflix is a business, and things that are not controversial, moderation does not sell. What sells is things that shock. Shocking things are always clickbait. So when you watch a show for entertainment, or to open your eyes to someone's discoveries about unethical fishing and overfishing, which has been an issue which has existed for quite a while, and it is important to be aware of it, by all means. It's also important to look at the flip side of the coin. What happens when we stop having animal products? Well, generally, we'll really increase our consumption of soy. What happens when our soy consumption increases? Well, there's been huge deforestation in Brazil because of that. Forests were lost, animals were killed, some local human populations were moved. And soy is really bad for our hormones, so then there's a price on the healthcare system for that. So you can't look at any issue from a single angle. It is so important to structure your thoughts into 3 parts. The number one is the thesis. There is something that's given to you, like the Seaspiracy show. Then what is the antithesis of that, the exact opposite in terms of debate? What would be the opposite argument to that one? You can study that really deeply. So in a third instance, you create a synthesis which becomes your own formed opinion based on your research, on your judgment, and on your common sense. I truly urge you to let go of the fear-mongering that's surrounding us in society. It is bad for us. It is not conducive to happy society. It is not conducive to good health. It is not conducive to good mental health. Fear is tapping into the fight or flight reaction. Understandably, since the beginning of the pandemic, people have had elevated fear levels. I'm someone who I hate fear. I refuse to allow fear to dictate my life. And if I had fear, I would have never achieved what I've achieved so far. And I certainly wouldn't have recovered from my health issues. I wouldn't have started this page publicly exposing myself to be able to help other people. So there is a point where it is important to take a risk, come out of your comfort zone, express an opinion without being scared of being shut down. Uncancel yourself. Don't allow this trend to shut you down, because the consequences of that are much more serious for society, for you, and for our children. When it comes to health, to lifestyle, to food you eat, to exercise you do, to mental wellness and the way you think, it is the same thing. What I try and do on the Eat, Burn, Sleep platform is to educate people, because I want you to understand why I'm advising you to focus on certain foods. I don't tell you have this, don't have that without an explanation. Likewise, during the workout videos which I share with you, at every step I explain what does what. So later on, if you go to a gym class, you know what's good for you and what could actually injure you, create an injury in your body, because I'm trying to educate you. For example, I have really hurt myself in the past in a yoga class because my instructor didn't fully understand the human body. It is quite easy to get a qualification as a yoga or Pilates teacher and not truly fully understand the human physiology. I had a disc bulge. It took me months to recover. The lesson from that, the takeaway from that for me was to fully understand what I was doing in a class, and that if I ever came across a teacher who was doing something which was slightly hazardous and could lead to injury, I would do my own modification and not follow. I apply this way of thinking to everything in life. I refuse to follow the trend or the teacher just because I'm told to do so. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is safe, with the best of my knowledge and the best of my abilities. We're living in a society where people are waiting to be told to do things, where they want governments to hold their hands, they want public debate to hold their hands and teach them. Take responsibility for your own knowledge, your own opinion, your own life, and your own health. So with the Eat, Burn, Sleep, I call this a lifestyle because what I'm teaching you is to become independent. I'm teaching you to catch fish. I'm not giving you fish. I'm teaching you to apply this to your health, but you can definitely expand it to other areas of your life. It opens channels in your brain that are crucial for critical thinking. And I believe that is really healthy for society, that we think independently, that we allow others to have freedom of speech, that we are allowing others to speak freely and confront our opinions so we can put ourselves in question and then modify the way we think to be able to grow. A lot of applications and websites pick up on our way of thinking and give us confirmation bias. It's so important to really be aware of this. I'm going to give you a very simple example. Some people are against vaccination, against the COVID vaccine. Between Siri on our phones and the way we browse, all the data is being collected. What happens is if you're against the vaccine, a lot of posts you're going to see on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter will confirm your bias and will show you that other people think like you, will show you research supporting your opinion. But the danger with that is we don't put our thinking in question. And as a result, there's no evolution and no growth. So I'll be completely transparent with you. I have a rather conservative take on politics. I'm more socialist when it comes to human things, but having a background of finance, I do not believe in a very strong state intervention when it comes to business. Okay? I'm disclosing here my political opinion with you. But I always read more left-wing newspapers, like The Guardian in the UK. I get for my children newspapers which are the opposite of my view, although my view is mixed. I'm not 100% conservative, because I want to always make sure that I know what I'm thinking and I'm not getting confirmation bias by only reading newspapers which confirm my opinion. Because on some topics, I am wrong for sure and I want to learn. So it's important to have the humility to say, okay, this is my natural incline. My natural incline is towards this, but I'm going to take myself out of my comfort zone so I can truly educate myself and look at a problem from all angles. Otherwise, I'm not creative. I'm not coming out with an interesting opinion and I'm just repeating something that I've read. When it comes to health, the Eat, Burn, Sleep lifestyle doesn't fit in any box. Because of that, my opinion is extremely moderate because everything that I put forward, I make sure I have done proper research. So I'm one of the very few holistic health people who are in favor of medication when needed, because I have been really ill and I know that without medication I could have died. So I have used medication as a crutch, implementing it at the same time of using medication as I was implementing a low inflammation lifestyle, and I always saw medication as temporary until I got better. Nothing extreme made me feel good when I was sick. Anything extreme actually puts me in a place of physical pain and greater illness. That's why I'm not in favor of the ketogenic diet. It's too extreme. Of the vegan diet, it's too extreme. I'm very much balanced. And the Eat, Burn, Sleep lifestyle structures what moderation is for you, to teach you that, and tries to teach you critical thinking when it comes to health. Hopefully, you can apply to all areas of life. Please share this podcast with people. What we're going through right now in the public debate is crazy. People are entitled to a different opinion. We should be entitled to a different opinion. I don't want my boys to feel horrible because they're boys, and that only women are celebrated. First, as women, we are not a minority, we're a majority. And secondly, men and women complete each other. We should be hand in hand going forward together, respecting and empowering one another. We don't need to put people who are different from us down, whether it is the opposite sex or the opposite school of thought. It's about celebrating the difference so we can all grow together for bigger and better things. I hope you do enjoy this podcast, and I hope you have listened to it with an tolerant ear. There's quite a bit of food for thought, pun intended. Go on with your life without fear. Trust yourself. Trust your common sense. Trust your judgment, and make sure to always keep a part of doubt as well. Because a little bit of doubt is what allows us to grow and to change things in your life to have a positive evolution. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have found this helpful, and do share it with friends if you enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day. Thank you to all of you for listening today. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to go on eatburnsleep.com to learn more about gut health and chronic inflammation. I would really appreciate if you could rate this podcast, and of course feel free to share it with anyone who might enjoy it. Have a beautiful day.